footballer. And student character building initiative to be implemented next year, integrated into existing subjects. The headlining story. Police are hunting two suspects, one of them a former Kelantan footballer, believed to be involved in the brutal killing of a Malaysian trader in Sungai Golok, Narathiwat, Thailand on Saturday. The victim was gunned down with 18 shots by someone he knew, in full view of his heavily pregnant wife at the couple's home in Suhang. The incident occurred at about 6:40 p.m. local time. Two suspects approached the victim, 33-year-old Muhammad Fuad Fahmi Ghazali, and opened fire. The victim, believed to be from Pasir Mas, was then rushed to Sungai Golok Hospital for treatment. However, he succumbed to his injuries at about 9 p.m. the same day. A pistol believed to have been used by the suspects has been seized by authorities. Thai police have identified both suspects and are intensifying efforts to track them down. The victims' remains were laid to rest at the Kampung Apam Muslim Cemetery in Apam Putra, Pasir Mas, Kelantan at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. Earlier, funeral prayers were performed at the Kubur Besar Mosque in Sungai Golok after the post-mortem was completed at Golok Hospital. The body was then taken to the Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex in Rantau Panjang at about 11:30 a.m. before being brought home to Kampung Kepas Apam. In another development, Kelantan police have confirmed that one of the suspects involved in the case is a former import player for the Kelantan football team. State Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Yusof Mahmat said surveillance along the border has been stepped up, adding that the suspect is believed to hold dual citizenship.
Based pada maklumat nama suspek dan juga gambar memang kita pasti sebagai bekas pemain import Kelantan baru sempat Kelantan dululah sempat berlaku di sempadan. Kita ambil perhatian sekiranya suspek masuk ke Kelantan. Jadi kita perketatkan itu masuk ke Malaysia.
Both suspects are believed to be the cousins of the victim's wife. Yusof added that the victim had entered Thailand on Saturday morning using a border pass. When asked whether the motive was linked to a drug-related debt, he said the matter is still being investigated by Thai authorities. Meanwhile, the General Operations Force, GOF, has tightened security along the Kelantan-Thailand border to prevent the suspects from crossing into Malaysia.
Itulah peringatan kita kepada semua pegawai dan anggota supaya sentiasa siap siaga dan pemeriksaan yang teratur, teliti, tidak kiralah ada maklumat ke ataupun tiada.
So far, the authorities have not received any official information on the case from their Thai counterparts. Recounting the harrowing ordeal, the victim's wife, Wan Fatiha Ahmad Hussein, said she was stunned as she watched the assailant fire multiple rounds at her husband. Wan Fatiha described the incident as horrifying and cruel, adding that it unfolded right before her eyes. At the time, she and her husband were installing a closed-circuit television CCTV camera when two men approached them and one opened fire from behind.
Dua lah bede 378 so bede dia so bede. Lepas tu dia berubah kita pun akak yo. Lepas tu pok tu pun bede dia habis mek kesing yo. Lepas tu babi mek pok ni pun jalan macam tak ungal langsung jalan lilik.
She said it was later confirmed following a post-mortem examination that her husband had been shot 18 times. The victim's mother, Zaiton Abdul Rahman, aged 64, said she was informed about the incident at around 8 p.m. She was shocked by the news, but has accepted it as fate.
Bini dia telefon saya, pukul 8.30. Semalam dia telefon, dia kata, Mak, sabarlah, kata, buat kena tembok. Pada di hospital Golok, doktor kata habis akhtiar.
Kena tembok rumah dia lah?
Depan tangga dia. Depan dia lah, dia pada sekali.
According to eyewitnesses, an argument broke out between the victim and the suspect prior to the shooting. The dispute is believed to have stemmed from a personal debt issue. The assailant fled to the scene, leaving behind the pistol used in the attack. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim will embark on a state visit to Saudi Arabia and Bahrain beginning Monday, marking a new chapter in the 68-year bilateral relationship between the two countries. The visit will also be the first state visit to Saudi Arabia by a Malaysian king since Almarhum Sultan Ahmad Shah's visit in 1984. In a statement, Istana Negara said while in Riyadh, His Majesty is scheduled to hold a meeting with Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman Abdul Aziz Al Saud at the Yamamah Palace. Accompanying the king on the visit are his sons, Tunku Temenggung Johor Tunku Idris Iskandar Al-Hajj, Tunku Panglima Johor Tunku Abdul Rahman Al-Hajj, and Tunku Putra Johor Tunku Abu Bakar Al-Hajj. Defence Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid Nordin will serve as the accompanying minister. Upon completion of the Saudi leg of the visit, Sultan Ibrahim will depart for Bahrain on November 6th at the invitation of King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. This marks the first state visit since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and Bahrain in 1974. According to the statement, Sultan Ibrahim and King Hamad share a long-standing friendship. His Majesty visited Bahrain in 2017 as Sultan of Johor, while King Hamad attended Sultan Ibrahim's installation ceremony last year as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Sultan Ibrahim said the trips to Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are part of Malaysia's ongoing efforts to strengthen bilateral ties with key nations for the benefit and well-being of the people. The Education Ministry will introduce a comprehensive character-building initiative for students starting next year. Minister Fadlina Siddiq said it would not be a new subject, but rather integrated into daily lessons to strengthen students' moral values and character through practical, hands-on approaches. Fadlina said teachers would allocate some time during lessons to carry out character-building activities, which will focus more on practicing and applying values in everyday life.
Jadi saya mohon untuk kita bagi ruang kepada guru-guru, kepada anak-anak kita untuk melakukan pembentukan karakter ini untuk kurikulum baru 2026 ini bermula tahun hadapan insyaAllah.
She said this to reporters after officiating the Wacana Fikrah Siddiq Fadzil Seminar Karamah Insaniah Pencetus Negara Bangsa Discourse in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang on Sunday. The initiative will first be implemented for preschool pupils next year before being expanded to other education levels. It aims to nurture a generation that excels academically while also possessing emotional resilience, self-discipline, and strong social skills. Special training and support will be provided to teachers to ensure the effective implementation of the new curriculum. Meanwhile, National Union of the Teaching Profession, NUTP, said educators are ready to implement the student character development approach in their daily teaching at schools.
Pelaksanaannya tidak akan memberikan bebanan kepada guru. Sebenarnya guru memang bersedia untuk melaksanakannya.
Nga Kor Ming has apologized to members of the media over the manner in which he responded to a reporter's question during a recent press conference. In a statement on Sunday, the Housing and Local Government Minister said he accepted all criticism with an open heart and reiterated his respect for media freedom and the right to free expression, adding that he would take the feedback as a lesson.
Sekiranya ada rakan-rakan media yang terkilat dengan kata-kata itu, saya tarik-tarik dan mohon maaf supaya kita dapat fokus kepada serta membina semula tanah air kita yang tercinta. Saya tegaskan orang yang kenali saya.
Nga also expressed his willingness to meet with the journalists involved soon to resolve the matter amicably and respectfully. Earlier, a video went viral showing Nga responding sharply to a reporter's question regarding the English name used for the pre-launch of the I Like You project in the capital last Wednesday. The incident drew criticism from various quarters, including the National Union of Journalists, NUJ, and Gerakan Media Merdeka, which described it as an act that undermines media freedom. Authorities will open an investigation paper into the recent pollution of Sungai Johor, which forced the closure of 4 water treatment plants and affected over 450,000 consumer accounts since Friday. Deputy Energy Transition and Water Transformation Minister Akmal Nasrullah Muhammad Nasir said the investigation to determine the cause of the incident is expected to take about 1 month to complete. The contamination which caused the river to turn murky is believed to have originated from a breached retention pond belonging to a sand mining company near Sungai Sayong. The 4 affected plants, Lingyu, Sungai Johor, Semanggar and Tai Hong, supply water to consumers in Kota Tinggi, Johor Bahru, Pontian and Iskandar Putri, who have experienced disruptions in recent days. The government has taken the incident seriously, with the case being investigated under Section 121 of the Water Services Industry Amendment Act 2025.
Kalau ikut akta, maksimum penalti yang boleh dikenakan sebanyak 15 juta ringgit dan juga penjara maksimum 15 tahun yang boleh dikenakan terhadap pesalah-pesalah yang mencemarkan sumber air sehingga menyebabkan penutupan loji bekalan air.
Akmal was speaking to reporters after inspecting the Sungai Johor water treatment plant. 3 of the affected plants have since resumed full operations, while the Tai Hong plant remains under gradual recovery and will reopen in stages. As Malaysia moves closer to becoming an aging nation by 2030, the government is considering a proposal that would make adult children legally responsible for supporting their elderly parents. While the intention may appear noble, experts warn that attempting to legislate familial love could ultimately do more harm than good. Nightline's Nurin Razmin reports.
The proposed law, floated by Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, M. Kulasegaran, would make it mandatory for adult children to provide financial support for their aging parents. While the idea may sound like a solution to address the issue of parental neglect, experts warn that turning family care into a legal obligation may worsen rather than heal strained parent-child relationships. According to sociologists from University Malaya, Dr. Sabri Sulaiman, it's not surprising that such a law is now being discussed, as complaints from elderly parents who feel abandoned or neglected by their offspring reflect a shift in Malaysia's social fabric.
In the past, the relationship between parents and children was actually shaped by close-knit family structure, where they share household and strong community ties. Caring for adult parent was part of daily life in that time where it wasn't even questioned.
However, Sabri added that in recent times, urbanization, migration, and the rising costs of living have changed how families care, leaving many in the sandwich generation, struggling to support both their children and their aging parents.
At the same time, values are changing where generation face greater financial pressure. Like I said that currently many of children facing financial pressure. So they cannot support their parents. While older parents often have higher expectation for emotional and financial support.
Meanwhile, legal expert from Taylor's University, Ambikai S. Thurasingham, warned that the law risks shifting government responsibility onto individuals.
This looks like a state abdication of responsibility. So the government is trying to shift the welfare responsibility to the family. So the question is, how many parents, even if they are so-called neglected, would undertake the step to bring a litigation upon the child?
Ambikai also noted that enforcement is a major challenge, in addition to emotional and relational factors such as past neglect or strained family ties that make this kind of law difficult to implement fairly. Without clear safeguards, she warns, such legislation could unintentionally punish financially struggling children while rewarding parents who once neglected them, undermining the very moral and social intent it seeks to protect.
Passing or enacting a bill is not a difficult task, but how are you going to enforce it to ensure there's fairness and adaptability of these laws. One day we care for them like how they cared for us.
As Malaysia grows older, the question isn't just about who cares, but how we care. Laws may set the boundaries, but lasting compassion must come from understanding and not obligation. Nurin Razmin for Nightline, TV3.
R6 million worth of unregistered medicines seized. This and more after this breather.
Warga Pulau Pinang, anda bertuah kerana Karnival Jom Heboh membawakan larian santai Jom Heboh yang julung kali diadakan. Jom bersama selebriti dan personaliti media prima untuk larian santai 5km yang menyeronokkan. Bukan hanya berlari, ada beg hadiah dan cabutan bertuah menanti anda selain kemeriahan di Karnival Jom Heboh. Ceriakan pagi Ahad bersama larian santai Jom Heboh Ahad 9 November di Stadium Negeri Pulau Pinang, Batu Kawan. Untuk penyertaan, layari media sosial Jom Heboh Official di Instagram, Facebook dan TikTok. Jom kita lari bersama-sama.
Michelin innovates once more with Michelin acoustic technology, reducing cabin noise by cushioning road vibrations. Galvanized. Michelin, motion for life.
난 말이야, 약점 많은 사람들이 제일 좋더라. 야, 영란아, 김영애!
회장님, 제가 뭘 해드리면 될까요?
그냥 덧치려고 기다리는 거야.
혼인신고? 이거라, 거짓말은 나쁜 게 아니잖아요.
Tanah runtuh yang kedua tu yang ngerilap. Saya tinggal saya tu rumah, dia tak ikut hanyut pergi arah sungai. Masih bau hanyir, dia punya darah jalan.
Tiba-tiba saya terdengar dentuman macam buruh yang amat kuat.
Sistem interlock menunjukkan signal gelombang gempa bumi.
Setakat ini yang dijangkakan kita boleh sekuat 5.5.
Aku hanya ingin mencintai. Aku hanya ingin dicintai. Walaupun banyak yang menentangku, ku hanya ingin.
Welcome back. Police will be on high alert to ensure a smooth and secure process throughout the upcoming 17th Sabah state election. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said 10,000 police officers and personnel will be deployed across the state. According to Saifuddin, the deployment is part of the police's comprehensive election operations plan, with reinforcements from the Sarawak Police contingent to be mobilized if necessary.
Kita dah kenal pasti kekuatan kita. Seluruh negeri ini adalah 10,000. Kalau ada keperluan kami perlu menambah, mungkin kami akan bawa daripada IPK Sarawak. Itu kita akan mutamatkan. Yang kedua dari segi latihan. Kesemuanya, terutama yang membabitkan mengawasi perjalanan peti undi.
Saifuddin said this at the KDN Madani Inspirasi Malaysia program in Merotai Besar, Tawau on Sunday. He also said all police leave has been frozen, except for special circumstances approved on a case-by-case basis. The Election Commission has set November 29th as polling day for the 17th Sabah state election, with nomination day on November 15th and early voting on November 25th. The Selangor Health Department has busted a syndicate involved in the sale and distribution of unregistered medicines, seizing over 400 types of products worth more than 6 million ringgit. The seizure was made following a coordinated multi-state enforcement raid in Klang on October 23rd. In a statement, the department said the raid, assisted by enforcement teams from Pahang, Negeri Sembilan and Kuala Lumpur, targeted 2 storage facilities and 4 retail outlets linked to the syndicate. The unregistered medicines, believed to have been imported from overseas and obtained from unauthorized suppliers, included products containing controlled substances such as sexual stimulants, antibiotics, steroids, contraceptive pills, and antihistamines. Authorities said the operation is part of ongoing efforts to curb the sale of unregistered medicines and protect public health. They are also working to intensify the Tolak Ubat Tidak Sah campaign launched last year. The sale and possession of unregistered medicines are offences under the Control of Drugs and Cosmetics Regulations and is punishable under the Sale of Drugs Act, carrying fines of up to 25,000 ringgit or 3 years jail for individuals and 50,000 for companies. In Pahang, a 25-year-old unemployed man has been remanded for 4 days to assist investigations into a stabbing incident in Kampung Sri Damai, Kuantan on Saturday, which left a man injured in the abdomen. District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ashari Abu Samah said the 38-year-old victim was stabbed by someone he knew in front of his house at about 7 p.m. The suspect was arrested an hour later in Kuantan. A 40-second video which has gone viral on social media shows the victim talking to the suspect. It is understood that the suspect had asked the victim to follow him home, claiming that someone wanted to meet him. However, the victim refused to do so.
Berdasarkan siasatan kita dapati, suspek ni menuduh bahawa mangsa ni ada membuat laporan kepada pihak polis. Kononnya si suspek ini ada terlibat dengan kegiatan dadah lah. Jadi ketika pertemuan tu, suspek telah mengeluarkan sebelah pisau dan telah menikam mangsa di bahagian perut.
As a result of the incident, the victim sustained abdominal injuries and was taken to Tengku Ampuan Afzan Hospital for treatment. He has since been discharged after receiving medical care. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for voluntarily causing hurt with a weapon. Cambridgeshire train stabbing. 2 British men arrested. The details when Nightline returns.
Fan nombor 1, itu memang kamu. Jangan tunggu. Vote laju-laju. Undi calon top 10, 37. Kita bagi kecoh. Nombor 1, bintang paling popular. You are the one. Kita tentukan. ABPBH 37. Satu keunggulan. Memang tiada lawan. Joe. Undi straight. Sampai 17 November. Scan the QR. Cepat undi-undi. Benda free. Tak payah banyak bunyi. Tak cukup. Kita ganda lagi.
Mendaki rentas sempadan tanpa perlindungan insurans, nyawa jadi taruhan.
Nama arwah ni tak ada dalam senarai. Lepas tu insurans pula diambil cukup-cukup 3 hari. Bila berlaku sebarang kemalangan ni, kita tak dapat nak bantu dia.
Puncak Gunung Liang, saksi perjalanan terakhir mangsa.
Bila saya panggil nama dia banyak kali tu, saya agak dia genggam je. Memang dah tak ada masa tu.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Aku rasa Jess tak sesuai berkawan dengan Syawal.
I'm not giving you hope. There's no us.
Syawal! Weh, asal kau lari tu? Ayah sekarang ni tengah risau dekat kau tau.
Anis. Kau dah kenapa? Kau jangan sakit aku lagi boleh tak?
Weh, apa tu?
Bintang di Langit Syawal setiap Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
The foreign news. 2 people remain in life-threatening condition after the stabbing of 10 passengers on a London-bound train in eastern England in what officials described as an isolated incident. British Transport Police Superintendent John Lovelace said 4 are still receiving treatment, while 4 others had since been discharged. Loveless said 2 men have been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder following an incident on board a London-bound train. They are a 32-year-old British man and a 35-year-old British man of Caribbean descent. He also confirmed that there is nothing to suggest it is a terrorist incident and have asked the public to come forward with any more information. The Cambridgeshire police said they were called at 7:39 p.m. local time on Saturday after reports that multiple people had been stabbed on the train, which was travelling from Doncaster to London King's Cross. One of the eyewitnesses described seeing a man with a large knife and said there was blood everywhere. Speaking with The Times, the eyewitness said that people hid in lavatories to escape and some were getting stamped on by others as they tried to run. Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has described the incident as appalling and thanked emergency services for their response. In a social media post, he said the stabbing was deeply concerning and urged people in the area to follow police advice. He added that his thoughts were with all those affected. The mayor of Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, Paul Bristow, said he was shocked and deeply concerned, sending his support to the victims and their families. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said she was deeply saddened and called on the public to avoid speculation while investigations continue. At least 23 people, including children, were killed and 11 others injured in a supermarket explosion in northern Mexico on Saturday. The blast occurred at a Waldo's outlet in Hermosillo at about 2 p.m. local time, sending thick black smoke into the sky as panicked shoppers ran for safety. Videos shared online showed flames ripping through the building, charred vehicles outside, and firefighters battling the blaze as part of the structure collapsed. Authorities said the store was completely destroyed and that several nearby businesses were damaged. Initial findings suggest most of the victims died from inhaling toxic gases, while the injured were taken to 6 hospitals across the city. Officials have ruled out any form of attack or violent act and said a full investigation is now underway to determine the cause of the explosion. Still in Mexico, a mayor was shot dead during a public event on Saturday in a region long troubled by organized crime. Authorities said Carlos Manzo, the mayor of Uruapan in the western state of Michoacan, was killed during an event marking the Day of the Dead in the city center. Videos online showed crowds running for cover as gunshots rang out. The National Public Security Agency confirmed 2 suspects have been arrested, while one of the attackers was killed. Michoacan has been plagued by violence linked to powerful drug cartels who extort farmers and control agricultural trade. The attack came just days after a local farmers representative, Bernardo Bravo, who spoke out against such extortion, was also shot dead. On to sports now, the Super League. 2 more matches took place on Sunday night. Imigresan FC pulled off a surprise, edging Penang FC 1-0 to claim a crucial win. Meanwhile, at the Hassanel Bolkiah National Stadium, DPMM FC and Negeri Sembilan played out a dramatic 2-2 draw, with the home side rescuing a point through 2 VAR-awarded penalties. Negeri Sembilan struck first through Joseph Esso's header, before Jordan Mari converted from the spot to level the score. The visitors regained the lead through Jovan Motika, but another handball reviewed by VAR saw Mari step up again in the 81st minute to rescue a point for DPMM. The draw leaves Negeri Sembilan 6th on 12 points, missing the chance to climb the table, while DPMM stayed 10th with 5 points from 8 matches. Turning to golf, the LPGA Maybank Championship. Japan's Miyu Yamashita claimed her second LPGA Tour title for 2025 after emerging as the winner at the Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club on Sunday. After much drama, which included a 1-hour suspension due to lightning threats and being drawn into a 3-way playoff, it was the 24-year-old Japanese who triumphed with a clutch birdie on the second extra hole over Australia's Hannah Green and South Korea's Choi Hae-jin. Yamashita fired a blistering 7 under 65 in regulation to finish on 18 under 270 for her LPGA Tour victory after winning the British Women's Open in August. Yamashita, who earned her LPGA Tour card for 2025 by winning the LPGA Final Qualifying Tournament in 2024, picked up a winner's check of 1.9 million ringgit. Hae-jin, who had been leading since the first round on Thursday, could not sustain the fiery pace and only managed a 1/73 in the final round. Mirabel Ting emerged as the leading Malaysian finisher, tying for a share of 49th spot after a 73 to finish on a total of 3 under 285. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we go, let's take a look at Egypt opening the new Grand Egyptian Museum, highlighting its pharaonic treasures to revive tourism. With that, I'm Hassanel. Thank you for watching and have a great week ahead.